If us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rules, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way. Nothing's gonna hold us back now. Straight ahead and on the track now. Gonna make our dreams come true. Doing it our way.
Hey homies, what's up? Ryan Wynn here with another episode of Late Night INKS, and tonight with us we have Susan Storm, or The Invisible Woman, part 3 in our 4-part Fantastic Four Ink-along series that we're doing this week. First night we had Ben Grimm the Thing, last night we had Reed Richards, and tomorrow night we will have Flamin' Guy himself, one of my favorites. And tools we are using tonight, we have our trusty Zebra Sensations Blue Barrel marker. We also have, remember Stinger? This is Stinger. My Raphael 8404 size 2. There will be, or there are, links below for both you can get. All right, let's get to it. So, rules are rules. We have good posture. We're going to be breathing regularly. We are going to start with the eyes so that we don't lose them if we ink around them. I've said before in the other videos, when you're inking on blue line, as soon as you add black, you change the contrast on the board, and little details get harder to see. So these are some of the most important. You want really nice pupils and nice reflections and nice irises. And you don't want to lose any of the detail. She has blue eyes, so we're going to go real thin on her eyes, and we're going to break them here on those irises. Then we've got a nice heavy swooping line here. I'm gonna mirror that guy there, or that girl, I don't know, guy, girl. I don't know what eyelashes are. Give a little bit of a lid there. And then I'm gonna do 2 thin lines that can sort of imply a little bit of shade or eyeshadow. I sort of like the way it looks. You don't have to add that, excuse me, you don't have to add that to yours. And we'll do the individual lashes last. Let's do a nice curve line there, and repeat that there. And now you can pop a few out like that. Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Okay, we're going to do a little underline there. Now I am barely dragging the tip of that marker on there. We're going to do the same thing on her eyelashes, which she's blonde, so she's got lighter eyelashes, but I still like to draw in nice, healthy, shapely eyelashes. Like that. All right, I don't think we're going to add hairlines like we did in Mr. Fantastic over here. So we've got her eyes down. You know what? I didn't make her things meet up here quite right. I had her pupil kind of floating in the center and didn't meet up with her top eyelid like it did on this side. So now we're looking good. All right, let's keep doing the fine details so we don't lose those when we do the bigger, heavier lines. So she did appear in some of my favorite, or my as of now favorite Fantastic Four stories, but when I was a kid, she wasn't in them as much. It was a different team of characters. There was a female thing going on. There was an Inhuman as part of the team and stuff like that. And I love those issues. That was sort of like my Fantastic Four as a kid. And then I also, I liked the stuff so much, I decided to go back and reread older stuff. So then I found the Byrne stuff and some of the Jack Kirby stuff. which isn't my favorite Kirby stuff. I'm a total Kirby head, but my favorite Kirby stuff tends to be like his DC stuff. I guess a bunch of his Marvel stuff too. Like his Devil Dinosaur stuff is great. He seemed to be really, really free at DC. So he had, like the Forever People and the New Gods and Mr. Miracle and all that stuff. And I'm kind of the mindset like, we should all kind of be doing our own thing. So I'm not always super big when people do Kirby stuff. But then as a kid, Mignola did a New Gods series called Cosmic Odyssey. And, oof, that was amazing. Jim Starlin wrote it. He was one of my favorite writers at Marvel and DC. Let's see, I'm going to do lips. We're going to center. Let's see, how do I have it? It's the underside. Okay, this is the top of her lower lip, which will be broken. Then this is the bottom of her lower lip, and we'll give a little shadow under there. Okay, and now we can take the sides off. She's got not a smile or smirk, but just kind of like she's on her way to smiling. Now these are slightly modeled after some John Byrne takes on the characters. So I let a little bit of his influence and his calls on like where to add shadows and things like that. I let that influence my decisions. It was kind of fun. So I think we're going to fill in that lip. Let's do it. You can leave a little bit of a thin white edge at the top. It doesn't have to be a solid line, and you don't have to leave anything at all. And then we can do some little bits of rendering, some little pull-ins here around the bottom. All right, so I think that is the end of our, of our need for the brush pen. Sorry, I am thinking and inking and not speaking well. So, excuse me, let's break out Stinger. Let's put our marker away. Let's take a sip of water. All right, I got a little bit of water on the brush. I'm going to dip the brush about 2/3 to halfway. You can do this with the brush marker if you were just using the brush marker. You can do this with a brush pen if you've got a brush pen which has longer bristles like this, but is, maybe a pentel or something like that. Now, I want to do this big long line first. Brush is nice and loaded. It's going to be sort of an S shape. I'm going to go thin, heavy, and then swoop out like that. I'll go heavier on that. All right, there we go. And while I'm here, I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do one there that crosses over. Now, I don't want to touch any of this stuff over here yet because there's a little bit of wet there and a little bit of wet on this line. So what can we do now? Come back over here. Do a nice beefy line there. And you start back on that line and keep it going. That's how you do a long continuous line. You trace back over what you've already done and then create a new batch or a new area. Blech. You know what I mean. You just saw, I showed you. Why do I have to use my words too? And now we can do her hair that is wrapping around behind her ears. Or her ear. I guess she's only got one on this side. We'll do a big beefy line there. A little bit of a tangent with the ear. That's okay since it's a floating head piece. Okay, this is all a little bit wet. It'll be dry in just a second. I'm off frame. Hopefully I wasn't off frame there for too long. What we can do now is we can come back in and do these foldy bits from underneath her wave that sort of meet with her hairline. think we might just leave it like that. I'm not sure I want to add any solid black shadows. I really want her hair to feel light and blonde. Okay, she's definitely been our quickest one so far. We're almost done. So then I'm going to beef that up nice and beefy because that's our underside of the hairline. It's also sort of the outline of the character's floating head. So we're going to relax your wrist. It's like pulling back the hammer on a gun, pull it back, and then do some sweeping lines. I crossed over, that's a mistake, but that's why God made whiteout pens. And these are bits of hair coming out between, or not bits, this is the shadows of the strands that are flowing from behind her hair. She's got her swoopy 60s hair going on. Slightly interrupted by her brother's on fire head. And then we'll finish her off with some wispy brush lines that kind of bring us back over the top there. And there we have our very visible, invisible woman. And I'll go back in and do cleanup and stuff like that later. And especially once I scan it and color it, that'll be day 5. So tomorrow we will do the flaming guy. And then Friday I will have a video demonstrating myself coloring this in some sort of time lapse with a little bit of commentary. So hope you join me for that too. Anyways, if you are inking along, let us know below. This has been kind of a fun week. I really didn't expect this to have such a great turnout and such a great response. I love these characters. I love a Marvel corner box. I love simple figures and designs like this. So it's fun for me to do. It's fun for you guys to do. We're going to do more stuff like that. We're going to do more Monkey King. I got some really fun stuff planned for the next couple weeks. But until then, join us tomorrow for this. And in between then and now, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and take it easy. And if you haven't already, head over to alternataccess.com and check out the book I wrote, Gods and Gears, with art by Dean Kotz and letters by Wes Loker. Issue 4 is out soon.
Stupid cat.
Newsprint, it's a hell of a drug.